All right, today we're looking at Get Lucky by Daft Punk. So I've had the honor of playing this one on stage with Pharrell for over 10 years now. And this one's a real right-hand workout. At tempo, it's a real burner. But slow anything down, relax with it, take your time with it. Really, this song is accessible to anybody, any level of player. So let's get into it.
Okay, so we got a 4-bar riff. There's 4 chords, and all of them are played on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings only. So a common mistake when playing these funky rhythmic riffs like this is strumming across all 6 strings. In most cases, you want to avoid that. There's usually a specific set of strings you want to focus on, and in this case, it's the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings only. Our first chord in the progression is B minor. And for B minor, we'll use this voicing with our 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the 4th string and our 1st finger on the 7th fret of the 2nd and 3rd strings. The strumming for this riff is based on a 1-bar 16th note pattern. So notice the 16 squares at the top of the screen right now. The squares with an X indicate you'll just be playing muted strings at that time. And when you're playing muted strings, you're still focusing on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings only. The squares that are yellow indicate you'll be playing B minor at that time. So I'm going to set the metronome at 50 beats per minute. I'll count us in and play along with me. We'll play through the progression 4 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, E and a 4, E and a. The second chord of the progression is D major. So for D major, it's a pretty simple move from B minor. You're going to just pick up your 3rd finger and you'll use your 1st finger across the 7th fret on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. Let's do the same thing we did with B minor, this time playing D major in all the spots we see the yellow squares. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, E and a 4, E and a. The 3rd chord in the progression is F sharp minor. So for F sharp minor, you'll want to use this voicing with your 2nd finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string, 1st finger on the 6th fret of the 3rd string, and then your 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 2nd string. Let's do the same exercise we did with the previous 2 chords, this time just using F sharp minor. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, E and a 4, E and a. The last chord of the progression is E major. So for E major, you're going to want to use this voicing with your 3rd finger on the 6th fret of the 4th string, 1st finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and your 2nd finger on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. All right, here's the last chord of the progression. Let's do the same exercise we did with the previous 3 chords. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, E and a 4, E and a. All right, so we just played through all 4 chords in the progression. Now, if you take and just play them for 1 bar each, back to back, you got the full Get Lucky progression. So the goal of these lessons is not just to learn these riffs. The goal of these lessons is to use these riffs to work on specific techniques for your rhythm playing. And the best way to do that is to simply put in the time. So what I did is I made play-alongs for each of these lessons. The link is in the description below, and they are unlisted, so you'll want to save them into a playlist like a Guitar with Brent playlist. And try to work on these at least 10 to 15 minutes a day. You'll start to see some improvements quickly. And when you get to the play-along, go to the settings button and change the playback speed down to 50%. And if you can play through at 50% where you're comfortable, you feel like you're locking in with me and the drums, your technique's really good, you're really able to pay attention to every little detail, and everything feels good, then move it up, but move it up in small increments. And then keep on doing that until you get to the original tempo. The whole purpose of these play-alongs is to have the ability to slow things down so you can really narrow in on the fine details. To help support me making more videos just like this, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell. That'll let you know when I go live or I have a new video coming out. And also, don't forget to visit me and subscribe to my mailing list at brentpaschke.com, where I'll be posting updates about all my latest projects.